Hi everybody, this is Billy from Fear to Stop. My wife Dana's in the background playing probably Candy Crush or some kind of whack stuff like
Toon Blast.
Same thing, Candy Crush, Toon Blast, City, Seattle. It's pretty much the same game. If you're new to the channel, we are two members in a six-person band. The third person is asleep. It's our 14-year-old daughter Jamie, and then we got three of her friends also in there. We do music-related content or food reviews or just random stuff, but we're going to be kind of shifting our focus more into just talking about music and stuff. And we're starting a portion where we're talking about the Beach Boys and their legacy and how that's changed from when we first got into the band. And if you saw the other video, we kind of gave a little bit of a rundown on it, and we kind of rambled about other stuff too, but we're going to stay on topic, damn it. That's a promise this time. I mean it. So anyway, I've been a fan since 1996. You've been a fan since probably like, would you say late '97? Or would you say like?
I would probably say like 98.
Yeah, like after I got the Pet Sounds box set.
Yeah, it was after you got the pet because I was like, okay.
Yeah, because see. At that point in time, the Beach Boys were kind of in a what you would call the low point, well, probably the lowest point on a critical scale, because they've been through a lot of strife, a lot of turmoil. Dennis Wilson had died, was their drummer, and one of the three Wilson brothers, and Carl actually, unfortunately, wouldn't be long for this world either. He would be gone in less than 2 years later, and February 6, 1998. So that was right when you were just getting into the band too, which is crazy, you know.
Yeah.
And me, I was just getting into them, like I said, at the tail end, and right when they were just about to put on a very embarrassing sitcom appearance on the horrible show. Home Improvement, which was actually worse than their appearance on Full House, but I'm not going to rehash that.
But I like Home Improvement.
I couldn't stand it, I'm sorry. Tim Allen's humor is, I would say it's an acquired taste, but that's one I'll never be able to acquire in my life, I'm sorry. And as I've gotten older, I find him less and less funny. But we're not here to talk about Tim Allen, we're here to talk about the Beach Boys. But the point is, during that time period, if you told somebody you were a Beach Boys fan, generally they'd either laugh or like, seriously, because people thought of the Beach Boys either as, a bunch of wimps who just like the beach a lot. Somebody actually, that wasn't a quote from me, somebody actually said that, because, someone asked me in college, like, who's your favorite band? Because all the Beach Boys. He goes, you mean the wimps that like the beach a lot, like they like the sand or some? I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? It's like the little kids like to sing about the sand and the beach and stuff. I was like, they never actually did a song about sand, and that is hilarious, because you know what? Seriously, we got to talk to. We got to have a little band meeting, and we should do a Beach Boys parody song. Jamie and I could do harmony parts, and do two-person harmony, but have it kind of like a knockoff Jane and Dean type song, and have it actually about sand, not about the beach, just literally about sand, like sand through an hourglass, the passage of time, something like that, No, I'm not talking about Days of Our Lives. But it was kind of a playoff of the expectations you would get from. Anyway, we're talking about the Beach Boys. Damn it, that's funny though. I just came up with that. See, I guess I came right. Lyrics. Anyway, so the point is, it was embarrassing to be a Beach Boys fan. That actually happened. This dude in college, he asked me, if I like the Beach Boys, and like I said, he was like seriously, little wimps like the sand and singing about the beach and stuff. I was like, wow. I goes, well, no, they actually had, more stuff than that. And the funny part is, at that point, I actually found myself excusing, the classic stuff that, you hear when you think the Beach Boys, you're gonna think, well, it depends on what age group you're in, and that's what I'm getting to. But you would think at one point, oh, either Kokomo or Surfing USA, Good Vibrations. I Get Around, almost like California USA, Surfing USA or California Girls, something like that. That's immediately what anyone's gonna think of because those are the biggest hits. But I always gravitated towards the late '60s, even after the Smile era, talking about like Wild Honey, especially Friends. What was your favorite Beach Boys album, hon?
I think Holland, Wild Honey, Friends, um, 20 big ones actually.
20 big ones? You mean 15 big ones or 2020?
15 big, no, 2020.
I was gonna say what? I was like, I thought you combined the two of them.
I did.
Can you imagine if they? Can you imagine if the Beach Boys in 1969 did an album that was like mostly covers of oldies? That'd be kind of weird.
That would be. But,
wait, that'd be any of their live sets. What?
Oh no!
It would have been oldies back then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was making a sarcastic comment under my breath.
Oh.
Okay, quiet you. Yeah. So, generally that era is our favorite, and we'd always excuse, like the classic period stuff because that was the stuff everybody immediately thought of, and yet, for some reason, it was kind of like I wouldn't say it was embarrassing, but it was because but I'm talking about for me. For me, it wasn't like I was embarrassed by the early period. It was the fact that the Beach Boys at that point were, getting, past middle age, getting to the elderly years, getting there. They weren't there yet. They're certainly there now, but they weren't there yet then. And but they were still singing about, stuff they sang about when they were, God, in their early 20s, and it just, at that time, it just seemed like it was kind of lame to me, of someone who I was, let's see, I was, God dang it, how old was I? I was 18. Jesus, I had to think about my age. I was 18 years old, high school, about to graduate, and I was going through my little hipster phase where, if something was popular, it wasn't cool. But if something was trying too hard to be cool, then it wasn't cool either. I listen to bands like Sonic Youth, and I'll put it like that. And Bull in the Heather, Panty Lies, stuff like that. That's what I listen to. Don't get copyright stricken, and then you're gonna bust everybody else's eardrum. I don't want to hear you screeching. Oh my God! So anybody got a cat of nine tails? Seriously, and some duct tape and maybe some ether. It's called the Ether Bunny.
You're gonna hurt the baby.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not talking about for the baby. I'm talking about. Never mind. I'll leave that alone. What would it be for the baby? What would it be for Austin? What did he do? He just sit there. He's just sitting there kicking. I was gonna make a joke. That's tacky. All right. Anyway. So yeah, it was like so. Even though I live not too far from a beach, relatively about 45 minutes, it's like, depending on traffic, I'm not a beach person, okay?
I am.
She is, and she wants to live in California. Me, I want to live in Colorado. That's my thing. I'm not a summer person. I don't like the heat. All right? People think I don't like the outdoors. I love the outdoors, but I live in Texas, and this is not my climate, you guys. This is not where I belong, yo. I don't belong here. So the whole thing about, sand and surf and, girls in bikinis and something, I'm like, give me a girl wearing a puffy jacket or a sweater or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not talking about now I'm married, but I've been talking about, back then. Jesus, this video took a turn. So that whole, what they were singing about didn't appeal to me. Okay, so that's not what I gravitated towards. But so I'd always tell people, no, just look past that. And I would say, oh, you mean like Good Vibrations? That was one song. It was after that. It was, oh, Kokomo? Before that. It was, well, they didn't do anything. It goes, yes, they did. That's 20 years worth of stuff you're just erasing out of history. And the reason why is because they didn't put out Smile. And so it appeared to the general public that Brian lost his nerve and he kind of chickened out and let the Beatles have it. And everybody basically at that time worshipped the Beatles, okay? And up to a certain, I mean, and rightfully so. The Beatles are a great band, and they were smart enough to basically get out while the getting's good. Before they got embarrassing, they're like, you know what? We don't like each other. And we can't really work together anymore. Deuces. Call it a day. Although, to be frank, even though it was recorded before Abbey Road, the Let It Be album, as it came out in 1970, quite frankly, was weak. And I don't mean it was a disappointing Beatles album. I personally, I actually didn't like it. But that's another video. But to most people, the Beatles did no wrong. They were perfect. They walked on water. And again, they're very good. They're in my top 5 favorite bands of all time. The Beach Boys, to me, actually hit me in a different spot. Because I have synesthesia. Look it up. But if you want a better understanding of it, but long story short, for me, the way it affects me is music is something tangible for me. I actually legit feel it, and I feel it as certain colors, or it causes certain emotions. And I'm not talking about the lyrics. I mean the actual music, chords, certain sounds. Trigger certain emotions and certain things. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I write the way I write. But yeah, little fun fact if you didn't know that. So the way Brian wrote and the way he arranged and the sound of the harmonies. It hit me in a spot that no other artist before or since has ever done. And some have come close, but to be honest, they'll never be like Brian. Even in the latter years, when he was past his prime, whatever, air quotes galore there. I've played his songs on keyboard, even taking his latter day stuff, and there's a certain way that he writes that nobody else does. It's no matter of Brian. It could be Pet Sounds Brian. It could be Getting It Over My Head Brian. It could be freaking No Peer Pressure Brian. It could be Surfing Safari Brian. It doesn't matter. The man had a certain way with chords. Okay, there was just a certain way nobody's done. But again, not trying to preach to the choir a little bit too much. I mean, everybody, if you got ears, you should know that. Even if you only got one working ear like me, you got it. But point is, Brian's a genius, and he didn't just write the music. He didn't just perform the music. He didn't just arrange the music. He produced the music as well. So he literally had his hand in every pot of every bit of the pie. Probably messed up that metaphor, but it doesn't matter. You get the point. All right. And he's saying, oh, but he had help. He had the Wrecking Crew. He had Hearing the session tape, a lot of it, they would bounce ideas off each other, and he didn't, have oh, here's a lead sheet, play this. No, it was like, hey, Chuck, play a little, not Chuck or Hal, can you play a little do, with a beat, ta 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 ta, he'll do stuff like that. You can hear him on the session tape, and it's so cool. I love that about Brian, and it's like I could just picture him there, just dictating, each part to somebody. So it's like he didn't need to have, the meticulously neat arranged sheet music where everything is, maybe the clef would be upside down or something. No, not like that. That's not that bad. But maybe the stem would be on the wrong side. I don't know. That didn't matter. I'm the same way. I can't read music that well, but I tell you what, I know more than the average bear, so to speak. That's neither here nor there. But maybe I was part of the problem. And then you're saying, wait, why would Brian's genius and the fact that he wrote such creative material, why would that be a problem for the general public? Well, look how many people have covered Beatles songs. All right, I mean, you had everybody. If you've been in the business long enough, up into a certain year, okay, I'm getting to it, you're going to end up covering a Beatles song. Or Ray Charles covered a Beatles song, Nirvana, well, sort of. Kurt Cobain did a version of About a Girl. Not About a Girl, that is. Oh, Christ almighty, who's it? And I love her, excuse me. I give her all my love. That's all I do. Yeah. And I love her. Oh my God. I hope I didn't just get copyrights. That's okay. I don't think the Beatles are paying attention to me today anyway. At least I hope not. Wait, and this channel's not monetized anyway. What the hell do I care? Just our music is. And that's not good stricken. Would you say the Beatles are in bed? Oh, they're all dead. No, Paul and Ringo are still kicking.
Well, I mean, but
Oh, crap. 2022's already been, they're taking everybody away from us anyway. We better watch out. I think Ringo, never mind, I'll shut up now. He's a cool dude. That's part of the problem. You see how many people have covered, Beatles songs. I mean, you put on most of their stuff, you find a lot of people that can sing along. They hear it and it doesn't matter what kind of music they listen to, they'll know at least, one or two Beatles songs. The Beach Boys song, in order to be able to sing along, first of all, it's kind of hard to sing along by yourself because you're gonna sound. You gotta have a degree in music. You gotta have a degree in music in order to be able to sing along with it. No, but you at least got to be able to sing. I mean, you can have You can have Raymond be able to. It's probably bad enough to kill the average puppy, but I mean, he could probably sing Yesterday. I'm just kidding. Ray, if you watch this, bro, I'm just kidding, man. Don't quit the band. You're awesome, dude. But, just picture that. Yeah, he is. But, anybody can do it. Anybody can sing the average Beatles song. You can. Now, take the average person off the street, and try to have them sing Surf's Up and watch what happens. Raymond singing Surf's Up. He want to say Domino's at Pizza Hut. Wait, what? Never mind. It went over your head. It's okay. Domino's Pizza.
I got it.
Like he got the lyrics wrong too. Yeah. He didn't just miss the note. He got the lyrics wrong. He said Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Anyway. I gotta admit it was kind of stupid, but the point is, it's not easy to sing along with a Beach Boys song, and it's not easy to sing along with a Beach Boys song, and especially if you're doing it by yourself, depending on what type of song, what era of the band you're doing. It's gonna sound naked because you need the other voices, and then you got all those voices got to be good. Can you imagine like a family, like four people in the car. None of them can sing. They're all bad. And they're trying to do In My Room. Right? Four Ravens in the car. They're trying to do In My Room. It sounds like Scooby Doo or the dude from Imagine Dragons. Trying to sing.
What about no? What about don't go near the
Oh yeah, that was funny. We live near Galveston, Texas, and the water is grody as hell. It's too bad Chocolate Bayou's taken by another spot of town, because that would have been perfect for the description for that place. And literally right when we pulled up and Raymond made a comment how we can actually see in the water, freaking we had the Beach Boys on, freaking don't go near the water comes on. The water's getting bad. Raymond's like, it's already there, pal. Oh my god. So yeah, so that kind of hurt the Beach Boys mass appeal. Okay, the fact that it's not as easy to sing along with their music, but doesn't matter. I love them. But it was always, again, I hate to use the word guilty pleasure because I didn't find any guilty pleasure because, again, you ask any musician up until a certain year, that was actually, one of the contemporaries, and they'll tell you, how much of a genius he is. We got Paul McCartney saying that God Only Knows is the greatest song ever written. I mean, we're talking about Paul freaking McCartney, yo. So the fact that he's saying it means a hell of a lot. But again, it's kind of like the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. And, up until maybe the last 10, 15 years, the Yankees were always on top. Boston was always just a little bit behind, always coming short. Till 2004. Okay, it's the same thing. It was like the Beatles were the New York Yankees, and I hate the Red Sox, so this turns my liver into pudding saying this shit. But the Beach Boys were the Boston Red Sox, okay? And I wouldn't even want to say Coke versus Pepsi because I prefer Pepsi anyway. But it's like the Beatles were Coke and Pepsi, and the Beach Boys were RC Cola. Which I actually prefer to Coke and Pepsi, so you know what, screw it, it's a perfect analogy. But the point is, the Beach Boys were kind of an acquired taste, or not even that, you either got them or you didn't. Okay, my dad certainly didn't. My dad, he liked the blues, and he liked music that was inspired by the blues. He liked Eric Clapton. Stuff like that. And he liked stuff like that. And I'll be honest, I don't really care for the blues. I just don't. It's not bad, but first of all, I don't feel any kind of emotional connection to. I just don't. It just doesn't hit me like that. It just sounds like somebody in a lot of pain, spazzing out, making like these messed up yo gabba gabba funny faces, and well, doing like some riffs on the guitar and going oh yeah, like that, and I couldn't tell you what's good blues, I couldn't tell you, Blind Melly Jelly from Slim Joe Bob Johnson and, any of them. I could Boxcar Willie and Yardbird Coltrane and I don't know none of the people, man. I'm sorry, I just don't get it. It's just not me. It's too country and just not. Rick Beato, this is off the subject, but Rick Beato talks about today's music only using the same four chords, but blues only use the same four notes. You know, it's like how much can you hear before your ears just want to kill themselves? You know, it's just, I'm sorry, my personal opinion. You know, my ears, my body, my choice. Damn it. So, just saying. So I generally. So the Beach Boys had no connection to the blues, and so to my dad that meant they were wimpy and they had no edge. They were waspy and whatever else he said. When none of it was nice. His two least favorite bands were the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones, and it's hilarious because the Rolling Stones were the type of band I thought my dad would have loved.
Yeah.
But besides Angie, he didn't like a single Rolling Stones song. Not even Satisfaction. And I think that's the one song that everybody liked. You know,
everybody likes Satisfaction.
Not Dad. You know. But my dad liked Pump Up the Jam and Who Let the Dogs Out? And whoop, there it is. I'm like, what? And guys, my dad was born in 1932, okay? And he would be, yikes, he would be 90 this year if he was still alive. Alright, so yeah, so he was older generation. So he would rather listen to 90s dance rap than Brian, which would have been up his wheelhouse if he just would have listened. No, actually, no, it wouldn't. He didn't like the whole harmony thing would have went over his head. But he would have liked the early 70s. No, because he wouldn't have liked it. Doesn't matter. Actually, he did like Caroline, though, until he found out it was Brian. It was like he heard me singing it, and then he heard the original. It was like I like the other one better. It was like oh, I mean like this one, and like talking about the actual singer. And it was like, yeah, I like that song. Who is it? He goes, that's Brian Wilson. He goes, who's that? He goes, oh, it's in the Beach Boys. And I was like, ah. It's like, sorry, Dad. But that's the point. You know, the Beach Boys were considered to be cringy. And a lot of it stemmed from, again, the inaccessibility. Some really, really stupid career choices. And we're not just talking about Smile. We're not just talking about... Kokomo. Well, Kokomo was #1 hit. It was cheesy as hell. Attached to a movie that was even cheesier and stupider. But, and that sax solo was... Honestly, I don't think Kokomo was a bad song. It's the sax solo that just really brings my piss to a boil. But it's not that bad, okay? The funny story about Kokomo. We went to a reunion show in 2012. Okay, June. Holy crap! I just realized it's 10 years this year.
I got something to say about that, but go ahead.
Yeah, because I got to get to the main point where we just hit the 28-minute mark. So we're at the Beach Boys 50th anniversary reunion concert in June 2012, in Woodlands, Texas. And there was this dude who was he had a Godsmack t-shirt on, and he was all tatted out. He had gauges. And his ears looked like donkey ears, as I called them. It looked ridiculous. I'm sorry. No offense to anybody who has them, but I don't like that look. It looks goofy as hell to me.
I'm okay with gauges as long as they're not like stretched.
These were stretched, okay? And he looked like somebody who smoked clove cigarettes, drank local coffee no matter how bad it was just because it was local. You know exactly what I mean. Wore Jesus sandals with socks, and probably listened to, besides Godsmack, probably listened to stuff like Throbbing Gristle and freaking, it doesn't matter. But anyway, you can kind of tell what type of dude this was. And he was digging the show. Okay, he actually was digging the show. I was like, wow, like that. But he had his attitude kind of like, oh, it's the Beach Boys. The guy, I heard the dude. He was like, yeah, even though it's the Beach Boys, this is good. I'm enjoying myself. The music's good. But it was always like, even though it's the Beach Boys, he kept throwing that in there. When Kokomo came on, without a sense of irony, bro actually started skipping down the hill, heading towards the front, with this huge shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, woo! Like that. I was like, oh my god! He's like singing along at the top of his lungs, and he's literally like, the dude looked like he was about 23, 24 at the time. And like I said, he was tatted the hell. It looked like he worked in a tattoo shop. Probably did. And it's like, all of a sudden, he turned into like freaking 9-year-old Sally Mae, Rutherford May Hayes or something, jumping down the damn hill with little frilly dress. Going, it was like seriously, it was the 1940s, and it was a Bobby Soxer creaming her panties over Frank Sinatra, man. It was like I ain't never. His buddies were all like with their jaw dropped because the dude was dead serious. He wasn't like putting on an act. He was like, and I'm not clowning on the dude. You know, I'm happy. It was cool that that song filled him with such joy. I mean, it's good that music can have that kind of positive effect on someone. But it was hilarious because that was not the song I thought would bring a spiritual awakening to this dude's life. But that's what happened that night. It was hilarious. It was like, oh my god, he pranced down the hill, got all happy singing loud as hell too. So, yeah, you never know. But the fact that a song like that is not the fact. The funny part isn't the fact that it caused that type of reaction. In retrospect, it's the fact that we reacted to it, that way. Because that's how bad the Beach Boys' reputation was, you guys. And blame's been going back and forth about that. A lot of it's because the Beach Boys, didn't put out Smile. They canceled the Monterey Pop Festival, weren't there. They were supposed to be the headliners, and instead, that turned into a big thing. And you can talk about the 1976 Brian's Back, bless you, 15 Big Ones album, and Brian not being back a bit, and being thrown in the limelight like he's like a trained bear, just poking him with a stick, go out on stage even though you don't want to be there. 1976 we're talking about, and you can point that. You can point to really stupid career decisions they made over the years. But at some point, something changed. At some point, the Beach Boys started getting the recognition that they deserved. And I'm not sure when that happened. I'm happy that it did. But it's no longer considered to be a guilty pleasure. But I got a theory about it. I want to talk about it in a minute. But I got Spotify on right now. Okay? And in case you wonder what's playing, it's one of our collections of songs. It's not a album. It's a 35 track collection of previously released songs, and then a couple unreleased songs, and then some new songs. But where am I going? I just wanted to point something out. All right. In case you don't know, in case you're new to the channel, or in case you're just here to hear us talk about the Beach Boys, like I said, we're in a band, and we've been making music for about 20 years, but we've been putting it out professionally now for going on 2. And we're always checking our stuff on Spotify, and also also seeing some of our contemporaries, seeing how many followers they have, and also the bands that we personally like listening to, see how many followers they have. And right around that time, and we started making music, not making music, but we started actually being serious about our music. I uh, I started paying attention to how the Beach Boys were doing, and I'm still trying to get to them, guys. I'm sorry it's taking so long. Okay, here we go. Right when I said that. Currently, they have 3,473,058 followers on Spotify. Okay. The Beatles have almost 22 million. Okay, that's a big disparity. But my argument is that that only tells part of the story. Because, truth be told, this current generation, these Gen Z youngsters, oh my god, it made me sound old as hell. I am what my daughter likes to call a boomer. But this generation of kids now, you know, our daughter's age, you know, and maybe a little bit older, and certainly younger, they don't look at the Beach Boys the same way previous generations did. And the whole thing with the Beach Boys and the Beatles rivalry and all that other kind of stuff. Truth be told, the young people, a lot of them, Jamie was telling me, like friend wise, like of course, you know, like the Beatles, but actually a lot of them prefer the Beach Boys. And the Beach Boys are like considered, even like the stuff that we used to you know, like, well, they weren't all surfing songs. The pre-Pet Sound stuff, our generation looked at it as being, you know, dated. And the whole oldies, you know, early rock and roll, Gidget, let's go to the beach, milkshake, holding hands, let's go steady, pal. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, that was cringy when I was your age. They don't care about Jamie's generation. They don't care about that crap. They're like, they hear Surfing Safari, the album, they hear, you know, Surfing USA, that album, the instrumentals too, you know, the Surfer Girl, they hear all that stuff. They don't hear, you know, 20 great oldies, you know, and or 98.7 KRAP radio, you know. This is your host, Diamond Joe Bob Morton. You know, yeah. And we got great golden oldies. We got fabulous Fabian and Shelley Fabaret, and you know, and I want to hold your hand.
Great.
You know, you know, they don't. That stuff is cringy to us. They don't look at the Beach Boys like that. They hear Surfing Safari. They hear like oh, that's garage rock. That's like early punk. That's like early Ramones. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. The Beach Boys early stuff, they don't look that as you know, lame early '60s music. They look at him as the like kind of like influence of like pop punk. You know, I'm like, wow, I did not realize that. You know, they look like, yeah, without the Beach Boys, you wouldn't have bands like Panic at the Disco or what's the other band that she likes?
21 Pilots.
21 Pilots. No, the other one, not Black Veil Brides, the other one. Oh my God, she's gonna kill me. God dang it.
Well, that's why I said 21 Pilots.
No, there's another one. Black Veil Bride with the other one, the other dude. I always get. No, I almost said almost said Against Us. That's no, not Among Us.
That's the game she plays.
God dang it, I'm such a boomer. I Feel Bride. Which is what Andy Biersack is a which band?
I think he's in 21 Pilots, man.
That's not 21 Pilots.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
Let me look real quick.
See, that's right. We got the magic of the internet right at our fingertips. And I actually got this actually got a point to this.
He is
Falling in Reverse.
With Falling in Reverse.
That's who I was thinking. Falling in Reverse. That's the one she was saying you wouldn't have had, bands like that or Pierce the Veil and stuff like that. Ronnie Radke, that's the other dude I was thinking about.
Yeah.
I always get Andy Biersack and Ronnie Radke confused.
I do too.
I'm like, I'm old, damn it.
They're the same person, honestly.
Andy Biersack, Ronnie Radke, Alex Cooper, Frankie Avalon. What the hell's the difference when your eyes are closed?
Marilyn Manson.
And I'm like, okay. And then I asked, well, what do you think about, when I play stuff like, like Wild Honey or Friends? I said, well, that's the reason why the Beach Boys are so popular with the younger groups is because they basically looked at the Godfathers of bedroom pop, and that's actually turned into the Beach Boys' real legacy. And realizing this is a 40-minute video, I'd probably have to go in the next part, do a deeper dive into why. And to give you a little bit of a quick run through, I think it's the 2011 release of the Smile Sessions box set. And I actually believe that Smile not coming out in 1967 was actually the best thing that could have happened to the Beach Boys. Yeah, it's a hot take. But I believe it. I believe from the bottom of my heart. I think even if it would have came out, if Smile would have came out in 67, I think it would have done well. But it would have killed their career. I'll go into that next time. I know you're kind of excited and chomping at the bit thinking about that, huh?
I am, but I've been dying to say what I want to say.
Say it.
The whole video, but
say it, yo.
It's kind of not really important anymore.
No, say it.
Well, we're talking about Kokomo.
Oh, God.
Alright, well, here's how I felt about the Beach Boys. Okay, so coming up, I listened to a lot of rap and R&B and, maybe some hair metal type stuff, like, stuff that you would see on MTV
I didn't.
back in the 80s, and I may occasionally, like, some Phil Collins or, not Barry Manilow, but,
I know you meant,
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Wow, Barry Manilow and Billy Joel.
I know.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, so, this is the type of repertoire that I liked, right?
Fancy.
Well, the thing of it was, like, when somebody would say something about the Beach Boys, all I could think of was, it's that waspy, like that beach music that old people listen to when they're trying to have fun and they're being nostalgic and they're thinking about taking their girlfriends to the car hop and sharing a shake,
Yeah.
Because the Sonic commercials really got me,
Oh my God.
So, but that's what I associated it with. But the one thing I did like about the Beach Boys was I Get Around.
Right.
If I could grow up to be a man.
When I grew up. When I grew up to be a man.
I messed that one up. But anyway, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
And then I liked Good Vibrations.
Right.
And I liked God Only Knows.
Of course.
Those were like the songs that I knew from them that I liked. But all that other shit that they had out and stuff like that, I was like, I wouldn't even give it a chance. And I think the reason why is because the one song that I was really familiar with them, and I couldn't stand it.
Kokomo?
Yes.
Because it was everywhere.
That's where I was getting at. It was Kokomo. And I fucking hated Kokomo. Because it was so great. Like, they were trying to be cool. And the sad part is, I hated it so much But when I would hear it, like, it wouldn't be on the radio because it wouldn't be on my radio. But, I mean, I would somehow hear it because I don't know if I'm at the grocery store with my
Quiet
mom.
Storm version of Kokomo is hilarious.
I don't know if I'm at the grocery store with my mom, or if I just happen to be riding in the car with, my friend's parents, or, we happen to be out somewhere in public and the song's being played or whatever because they overplayed the hell out the song.
Yes, they did.
I would find myself singing to the song. And I couldn't help it. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I singing this god-awful song? And then what really killed it was when they were on Full House.
Oh, God.
And I will say...
Oh, damn, Jesse.
And I will say this, though.
This almost makes me sick.
I will say this.
Go.
The home improvement thing was pretty cringy, too.
Yes, it was. It was horrible.
But it was funny, though, because I felt like they were taking the piss out of the Beach Boys, too. Like,
that was the point. They were.
They were taking the piss out of it, and that's what made it so funny. And, it was like the whole Wilson thing, I mean...
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, and, I mean, that right there was an official that, okay, these guys are jokes.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
So, it was like, to be a Beach Boys fan back then was, like, so not cool. But then, like, when you told me that you were a Beach Boys fan, I didn't believe you at first. Like, I was like, are you serious? And then I said, well, that fucking figures. Like, look how old your parents are, you know what I mean? Like, of course you would like the Beach Boys, because I was assuming that, that your dad listened to the Beach Boys because of his age,
No, I was not my dad's jam.
No, I know that.
We're about to hit the 50-minute mark.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I know, you were, as we touched upon earlier on, you were 100%, like, not feeling the Beach Boys. I'm glad he didn't think it was a deal breaker with us.
Well, I mean,
that would have been terrible.
But because I'm such a music connoisseur, I like to give anything a listen at least once. You know what I'm saying? And because I did like a few of their songs that I was familiar with, I figured, you know what? Let me revisit this because maybe, all the stuff isn't too bad. So let me revisit some of this and see what let me give it a chance. Let me give it an open ear because see, here's what I was afraid of, right? I was afraid of, like, when you said that you were a Beach Boys fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid of you were going to say something like,
Kokomo.
Remember, all I knew was Kokomo
and
their surfer stuff.
You thought I was going to be basic, basically.
Right. I thought you were going to try to tell me that there was some type of code behind that shit. Like,
code?
Yeah, like...
Da Vinci Code.
No,
Da Vinci Code, Mike
not
Love
like
style.
That, but like, not like
That's
that.
terrible.
But when I say a code, like, Dana, listen to how it really sounds. Listen to the arrangement. Listen to the production. Listen to the way how they harmonize on this part and that part. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen to stars.
Like,
It's got, that song.
You stupid.
You don't have a cap.
It's got a groove, Dana. If you just listen, just...
No. There's no deeper meaning behind Kokomo. I don't think there's any meaning behind Kokomo.
That's what I was afraid you was
deeper, surface, any kind of meaning.
But that's what I was afraid of you was gonna do. So I was just like, so then when you took out their lesser known stuff, and you kind of put up the vault at the time, I was like, hey, oh my God, this is so cool. And I think the thing that really got me into them was hearing Trader.
Yeah, off of Holland.
Off of Holland. That's what really got me into them because I was so amazed that it started off one way, which I thought was pretty cool. And then it totally changed up.
Oh yeah, the second half of the song.
Yeah, the second half of
Especially
the song.
the snare. The little triplet
Yeah,
snare.
and I love
fills.
that, like
Yeah.
the drum in there and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm
like,
talking about. The snare fills.
Yeah, and I just thought that was just so freaking cool. And so that right there, because I was like, well, since I like their other stuff, this is before I heard Trader. And
Right.
I was like, well, since I like some of their other stuff that I like, I was like, they do have potential to be a pretty cool ass band. But Kokomo
Just
is
kind of, yeah.
right,
Left a sour taste in your mouth.
right.
And I can absolutely, we're hit the 50-minute mark. My God, we got to really concise the hell out the next one. Uh, Man, this is end up being another prologue, I guess. But no, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Again, I'm sorry for this. This is turned into a little bit of a ramble, but
Why are we making it to a series?
it kind of, well, it kind of is. Uh, that's the thing. We're gonna talk about how the Beach Boys are looked at now. Because we already talked. Now this was us talking about how they were looked at, in our youth. But yeah, the Beach Boys are not like that now. I mentioned that they had how many followers they have. They've been in the past, I don't know, 3-4 months. They've been getting about an average of 2,000 to 3,000 new followers a day on Spotify.
They really have, yeah.
And I've been keeping track because it's like every day. It's like I can tell that's how it's been updated. Uh, there's certain artists I can tell, and every day they get new followers, and once this stuff gets updated, I'm like, okay, we can go ahead and check ours now. And the Beach Boys literally have been getting new followers every day, usually like around anywhere from 1,500 to the largest seen was about 4,000. I'm like, wow. Meanwhile, the Beatles, they're at 21,652,000 when I last checked.
Wow.
They've been going. That's a lot, but it's more stagnant. It's like they get more followers. It's like maybe 20, 30, which is still cool, but I mean, it's like there's not that growth like there is with the Beach Boys, and a lot of it again, as mentioned in the previous video, started really when the rights were sold, when it taken out of hands of the Beach Boys corporation, because yeah, that legacy was being passed away. Now it's like it's almost like the Beach Boys and the Beatles have switched places. But we'll talk about that next time, guys, because we're about to hit the hour mark. So till next time, we'll talk actually tomorrow. Good golf, good tennis, whatever makes you happy. We'll bring Jamie on here so she can talk too about it. And have a good one. Peace.